She grabbed a nearby letter opener, my body shaken uncontrollably. Hey guys, my name is Natalie and welcome to another video. Напоминаю, вы можете включить субтитры по кнопочке внизу. Today I gathered some of the most interesting creepy stories, and if you want to share your stories, please go ahead and leave a comment down below, or you can also DM me on Instagram. I always read all of your comments and messages, and I appreciate them so much. Before getting started, I just want to say that I tell all of these stories from the first person's view, as if they happened to me, even though in most cases they didn't. And I may take this occasion to tell you about my recent vlog when I went to Cannes. I think it turned out to be very sweet and cute and cozy. So if you're in a mood and you have your tea and some cookies, it'll be a perfect video to watch with. And you could also check out my Instagram where I post stories daily and tell you a little bit about my Parisian life. But let's get to the stories. At the time, I was a very average student in a normal, regular high school. Everything seemed pretty ordinary until the day she arrived. I was 18 years old, and the events that transpired since she came were anything but typical. So she was called Ellie, a peculiar girl with raven black hair, porcelain skin, and sharp blue eyes that would pierce through you. On her first day, she sat in the empty desk next to mine, her icy stare latching onto me. I smiled politely, introduced myself, and thus began our eerie journey of friendship. Over the next few weeks, Ellie clung to me like a shadow. At first, I thought it was because she was new, and I was basically the first person she met. We spent lunches together, I showed her around, and we worked on assignments together. But soon, odd things began to happen. I noticed the first unsettling sign when my favorite scarf disappeared. I was pretty sure I packed it, but it was gone. And a few days later, my sketchbook with personal drawings also vanished. I blamed it on my chaotic life until my grandmother's vintage locket, which I never took off, went missing as well. Each item disappearing without a trace left me unnerved. But it was a strange photo that I found in Ellie's bag sent chills down my spine. It was a picture of me sleeping. The creepy part wasn't the photo itself, but the time it was taken. It was a weekend, and I was at my home, and I distinctly remember this floral nightdress that I was wearing. I confronted her and she laughed it off, saying that she found it online and kept it as a prank. I didn't want to overthink, so I kind of accepted her explanation. Things escalated with Ellie even more when she invited me to her house one weekend. Her home was an antiquated two-story building, dark and brooding, just like Ellie herself. As I stepped inside, a strange sense of dread washed over me. The house was eerily quiet, even suffocating. Ellie showed me her room. Her room was a shrine of me, my lost scarf, my sketchbook, and even my grandmother's locket were neatly placed on a shelf. Pictures of me were scattered around, studying, eating, laughing, sleeping. That picture of me sleeping was there. A chill ran down my spine as I realized the extent of Ellie's obsession. I tried to keep my composure to not give away my discovery, but Ellie seemed to sense the discomfort. She put her hand on mine. Her gaze was more intense than ever. "You know, Rachel," she said, her voice shaking, "I've never had a friend like you." I decided to confront Ellie about my discoveries. As words left my mouth, Ellie's face morphed into an expression of rage. She snapped, lunging at me, trying to force a kiss onto me. I pushed her away, my heart pounded against my chest. The situation escalated quickly. She grabbed a nearby letter opener and swung it at me. Pure adrenaline pumped through my veins. As I dodged and managed to snatch the weapon from her, I ran out of the house, her maniacal screams echoing behind me. I didn't stop until I reached my home, locked the doors, and collapsed on the floor, my body shaken uncontrollably. The next day, I reported everything to the school and my parents. Ellie didn't show up at school. A few days later, Ellie's mother showed up at our doorstep, her eyes swollen from crying. She pleaded with us not to involve the police. Ellie was mentally ill, she said. She needed help, not jail. Seeing her despair and genuine concern for her daughter, we decided to let her handle it. Ellie and her mother moved away soon after. We didn't press charges. Life gradually returned to normal, but the fear lingered, making me look over my shoulders. The memories of her obsession became a haunting echo, a reminder of the time when our friendship turned into a horrifying nightmare. Although Ellie didn't return, the effects of her obsession continued to linger. Even now, every creak of a floorboard, every rustle of leaves, every unexpected call feels like a shadow of this chilling experience. But I'm stronger now, wiser and more cautious. After all, sometimes the scariest monsters are not the ones under our bed, but the ones hiding behind the smiles of people we trust. So that's the story, guys. Please tell me, what do you think of that? Has anything similar ever happened to you? Please, I would love to read your comments down below. I think it seems like a truly horrifying experience because one of the scariest things that can happen to us is realizing that the people we trust are actually not the ones we think they are. That sounded a bit weird, but you know what I mean. I'm really glad that at the end everything was kind of fine and no one was really hurt. And I really hope that Ellie gets the help that she needs. And we're getting ready for the next story. So at the time, I was in my freshman year. Before all that happened, I've never experienced anything creepy, nor did I care about those stories that our parents love to tell us about the creepy neighbors that you shouldn't talk to, or some people offering candies outside. But that story changed my whole life and perception of things. At the time, I attended Westbridge High, which honestly felt more like a university campus than a high school. Thousands of students spread across a vast compound with multiple buildings, open grounds, and even a small park area. Sounds idyllic, right? It was, until it wasn't. So this man first appeared when the school started. He seemed out of place, like a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit. A middle-aged guy, always in a janitor's uniform. No one knew his name or even remembered hiring him, but there he was, always around. It was the way he looked at us girls that first caught our attention. A gaze that lingered a bit too long, a bit too intently. His phone seemed to be in his hand perpetually, always subtly angled towards us. It was weird, you know? But it was high school and the weird is practically the norm. Yet he was a different kind of weird. The first incident that really got us talking about him happened during an outdoor physical education class. As we were doing our laps, I noticed him standing by the bleachers. His phone clearly pointed towards us. It was fleeting, yet so disconcerting that I couldn't shake off the feeling of his watchful eyes. My friends felt the same. An uneasiness started to creep in. Then in the cafeteria, Lisa, one of my besties, and I were having a lunch when she noticed him sitting at a corner table. He was pretending to read a newspaper, but his focus was clearly elsewhere, on a group of cheerleaders to be precise. This guy was a creep, but the final episode, it was just too real and too scary. I was returning from the restroom when I saw him cornering Emily, a sophomore girl known for her naive and cheerful demeanor. He was whispering something in her ear. His face was a bit too close to hers. Emily looked visibly distressed, and she sprinted away as soon as she could. My heart was pounding. This was no longer just weird. It was downright alarming. That's when we knew we had to do something. The next day we marched into the principal's office, relaying everything. She promised a thorough investigation, and we left feeling a bit relieved. But the bombshell was yet to drop. The principal called an all-school assembly the very next day, and the man, she said, was an imposter. He was not an employee, had never been one. He was literally the predator, exploiting the innocence of the school space. We were all shocked and scared at the same time. The police got involved pretty quick. They apprehended him, and upon inspecting his phone, found it filled with pictures of us. Emily later confessed that he tried to lure her with presents and promises. It was a relief knowing that he was behind bars, but it left a deep scar on our sense of safety and trust. Later that year, they installed a new security system in our school. It was also an important lesson on trusting your own instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. We learned to speak up, to report, to not let fear or embarrassment hold us back. My hard-learned lesson to be vigilant. Please do not hesitate to report anything suspicious. It is better to be safe than sorry. And hey, it's okay to be scared. Just don't let it stop you. Be brave and stand up, and remember, we're all in this together. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I totally agree with all these words. I know it can be very difficult to share if you spot something weird happening, but trust me, it's all worth it. And I also know that not all the parents, for example, believe in what the kids are saying, because this happened to a lot of my subscribers and a lot of people who sent me the stories saying that, well, my parents didn't believe me. And I think it's really terrible, because why would your own kid lie to you? And if you think that they're just craving for attention, that it's probably still your problem that you're not giving the kid enough attention. And I don't think that a lot of people were actually making up those stories. I think if your kid is telling you a story like this, it probably should be really alarming, and you should not just ignore it. So that's the story. Anyway, again, thanks you guys for watching. I appreciate that so much. Please leave a like if you liked the video, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more of those videos. Also, you can click on the little bell. That would help me so much. And we'll see each other very, very soon. Bye bye!